My name's Don Ferguson. I'm the CEO of NGA 911. We're a U.S. company based out of California, Los Angeles, California, and we are bringing the next generation of 911 to the Philippines.
All right, so please tell us something about this project that you are in the Philippines right now.
Well, we started about 3 years ago. It was actually the vision of our Chief Financial Officer, Ishka, to bring 911 to the Philippines. And part of that inspiration is that 911 in the United States receives a response within, you can get an ambulance in about 3 minutes. And she had the vision of bringing that same level of service here to the Philippines. Myself, my background's technology, and in NGA we live to serve, and it is with great pleasure that we have the opportunity to bring the next generation of 911 here to the Philippines to serve Filipinos with the best possible technology to protect human life.
Okay, and what is the importance of this project to the Filipinos and, of course, the government in the Philippines?
Well, the importance is that when it comes to serving the public, every life matters, and especially with 911. So when you dial 911 in the United States, which is really the standard for public safety in 911, you get a response immediately. So when you place that call, they answer the call and they say, 911, what's your emergency? And of course you explain to them briefly, and then they ask what your location is, or they know it automatically actually in the United States, and they distribute help. So the importance here is that what we've witnessed is the public safety systems in 911 can be upgraded substantially here to offer a better quality of response and better quality of service to every citizen in the Philippines.
Having this kind of project, your own definition of design thinking with the philosophy or principles of your company or organization?
Well, we have something within the company that is that we internally call the core principles. The first principle, and there are 10, but the first one I think really gets the point across. The primary core principle is that we understand that we serve best by serving others. What that means is that in life, in general, certainly as a core principle in NGA, that your life is, you understand that your life is improved and better by serving others. And there's no better place to do that than delivering a 911 system to all citizens within the Philippines, so that everyone's life can be improved with the safety and security that the government ought to be able to provide.
Your message to all the organizations, companies in the Philippines who might be wanted to get in touch with your company?
Well, we believe that the delivery of public safety is the responsibility of every company across the Philippines. We invite collaboration from anyone who would like to contribute, and that could include application developers. It includes the telecommunications companies, PLDT, Globe. It includes firefighters, policemen, dispatchers, nurses, anyone who has any bright ideas about how we can improve public safety here in the Philippines. Of course, we're bringing the next generation of 911 to the Philippines, but it can always be improved upon, and we invite everyone to reach out to us with their ideas. Even if you doubt that your idea may be good, share it, because who knows, you may have something that will save someone's life, and therefore it's worth sharing.
Making awareness for the media who would like to also support this cause. Your message to them also as well.
It's important to spread the word of 911. There are many numbers in the Philippines, so there's a lot of confusion around how to get safety when you need it, how to reach out to public safety when you need it. I think the media can help spread the message that 911 is a trusted technology that will get you help when and where you need it, especially as we deploy the next generation of 911 across the country.
We're done.
My question relates to the academe and the education because you said that we talk about next generation. How do you connect NJA to the education system of the Philippines?
Well, we believe that the seeds of the future generations are planted or they're sown in educational institutions. That especially our children, whether it be from 7, 8, 9 years old all the way up into university, our children should not feel threatened with safety and security. And one aspect of mitigating, or one aspect of making them feel safe and secure, is that you have a reliable 911 system that if they should need help, then they simply dial 911 and they get an immediate response. What we've come to understand is that there are more at-risk groups, for example, women in university or children walking home from school. This is a safety system. This is an upgrade to the 911 system that's intended especially for those who may be at higher risk, which would be those children or those young adults that are in university and schools.
Do you intend to collaborate with the Department of Education?
We do. We think it's important. There are many safety protocols that are in place between the 911 system and schools. And in fact, in Los Angeles, where we're headquartered, we have officers that are attending to schools. And those officers are directly connected to the 911 system. So that if an emergency happens on campus, I'll give you a very practical example. An emergency happens on campus, that 911 incident ought to be directly connected to the officer who is on campus, thereby making sure that there's a very quick response to any incidents on campus and they've got immediate response.
There are schools and universities now that offer like risk reduction management or something like that. Do you intend to also incorporate a course like that? Let's say a university is interested to incorporate your program to the curriculum.
So any risk reduction program must include the technology that helps to mitigate risk. This next generation of 911 is certainly that technology. We are planning on outreaching to schools to make sure that they understand how they can incorporate this technology into their curriculums or into training programs to use the technology. I think it's also from the technology side, which is what really excites me, is to bring some of the technology education into the schools as well.
We have met people from DevCon, that is a group of geeks,
Yes.
technological experts. So it's actually a non-profit, but they want to put in their talent. So if there is a chance for you to connect with them, would that be okay?
Well, I'll give you an example. Not only would it be okay, but it's something that should be done. And I'll give you an example. You can search it on the internet. This was a couple months ago. We actually partnered with Texas A&M University, where Texas A&M they have a lab, and in that lab, students are coming in to learn the technologies involved in next generation 911. And those technologies are very sophisticated. They're state of the art. It involves integrating voice, data, video. It involves very sophisticated technologies to make sure that the voice connections never go down. So 911 is a different kind of system. It's not a simple internet connection. It's a mesh of a very sophisticated set of connections that you can always rely on and that have 99.999 availability, which means you can have no more than 5 minutes of downtime every year. And that level of technology is very high, so we invite the geeks to join us. We've set that model already with Texas A&M, and we would look forward to working with them.
Is it learnable? I mean, would it be easy to learn, or
Well-
you need to have a kind of level of technical know-how?
Look, if I can learn it, then anyone can learn it. So it certainly is learnable. I'm living proof that it is learnable. Certainly it is. And not only that, but I think it's essential to learn this. It will be, we hope that this will be the backbone of upgrading public safety. These technology people will need to understand it so they can further perpetuate it throughout the country.
So, what's your vision now when you brought this to the Philippines?
I remember when I first came to the Philippines, which was about 3 years ago, we were surprised at how far back the Philippines was in terms of personal safety with 911. And our vision was very clear back then. It was to bring the standards and the technologies that we have worked hard to perfect and to implement in the United States, and to bring those to the Philippines. So the immediate goal is to bring Philippines to the level of the United States, and then from there, that's a launching pad for upgrading the system and making it more integrated with life. So we're looking at integrating 911 with wearables, so that additional protections can be offered to senior citizens, and that would include things like heart rate monitoring, immediate escalation on heart rate, accelerated heart rate, fall detection, and many other opportunities to enhance safety and security based on biometrics that can be read from sensors like the wearables.
That's exciting for us Filipinos.
We're excited to be here.
Okay, and we are glad that you chose the Philippines to be. Is it the pioneering country that you are into?
So we started in the U.S. We're obviously a U.S. company, and the Philippines was the first country that we reached out to. We discovered the opportunity because of the difference. I would need to acknowledge our Chief Financial Officer, Ishka, for her vision. She's Filipino American, and she loves her country very much. She understands that we live to serve each other, and really has been a force in making Philippines the top priority for NGA.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. If I have some more questions, I'll email it. Okay, it's all right. I'll send you an email. She already emailed me the core values.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I already have like a backbone of what I'm going to write.
Great. Okay.
So your news will be out tomorrow at Global Asia Insider. You'll be in the headline tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
But for sure, I'm not sure when.
Yeah, because it's longer. It takes longer for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And-
But for him, because he's the managing director, so he can decide right
Oh,
there
so
and
you
then.
make all the decisions. So
Yes.
No, I also told Sir Nikon about it, that it will be out either today or the next day.
Oh, that's great. So we started to really work with the carriers here with PLDT, and we have had meetings already, and I think if anything why this is exciting for me is I think it will help to further bring that relationship with carriers closer with PLDT and Globe, because I think if you've seen systems in Makati or other cities, you see apps that you have to download, and then you have to fill them out, and it's very cumbersome. And 911 should be very simple. It should be 911, and when you dial that, it should know where you're located. It should have maybe a medical profile, and it should know how to deliver help to you when and where you need it. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot this follow-up question. What could be the possible challenges to implement the whole project?
I think
Or maybe the risk. I'm not sure the things that might you aren't anticipating yet right now.
I think if you look 3 years ago, we had many challenges. We had to learn what existed, so we had to actually spend the time to understand what you had deployed. We had to understand how we work in the country, so we had to understand barangay, we had to understand LGUs, we had to understand how they interact at a how the municipalities operated, how that interacted with the federal government, the national government, and all of that is very different from the United States. So we had to learn that, and then we had to understand procurement law here in the Philippines, because ultimately, for this to be used, it has to be implemented, and there has to be funding that's available to implement it. And there have been some LGUs that have stood up as leaders to be the first to implement that, and we can talk about those later. But so we had to learn how to talk to them.